Whew. Woo, I'm already feeling it. Oh, what should we talk about? What should I talk about? Talk about Harlem Seals and how it started, why my passion for growth in every area of life is so important, why it's so strong. Started in this park and I was working out. Little kid came up to me and he said, I could be as strong as you are if I was in the park all day working out. And I told the kid, this isn't the only thing that I do. I work out. At the time, I think I was either in school or taking a class. And, you know, I had multiple things going on. So in my mind, I didn't say to him directly at that moment, I was just going through my mind like, I strengthen every aspect of my life, not just myself physically. And I was like, wow, that's perfect. Strengthen every aspect of life. And I realized that that's how I was moving in my life anyway. I realized that even when I was younger, from when I used to play basketball, I would practice every day. I worked hard to be on an honor roll in school. That was practice. With my swimming, practice. With my running, practice. So everything I had been doing in my life, I was using that same blueprint, as you will, being that I do use that term for my workout. I was using that same blueprint in other areas of my life, and I was always doing it. And I decided to do it with this. And I started from being able to do 7 and made my way up to doing 50 on video. As far as the pull-ups, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And when I reached that level, I started to see what I would see with everything else that I had done. That through time, through work, I get great results. Through time and work, I get great results. So I started to look at myself as a piece of a machine, like a cogwheel. So when the other members of Harlem Seals came about, we had names that formed some type of machinery that worked together in conjunction with each other. And the names were the mechanic, the specialist, the technician, the architect, and the engineer. And we were the members of Harlem Seals. We formed that unity to create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 20. And forming that mean we all had a role to play in how we were going to bring what we had personally and professionally to this organization we were trying to build. So that is the origin of Harlem Seals and the members and the name. Now my name came about because when I would work out, I wouldn't count my reps if I didn't go completely over the bar. So a friend of mine, Mike, AKA the specialist, how you doing, brother? He would say to me, oh man, you too technical. Or the way I would move on a bar, he would say I moved in a technical form, like I was concentrating on my movement. So he started calling me the technician. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19. So that's how I got the name, the technician. I continue to look back on how, even in my career, my profession as far as work, how I would use that same thinking process. And I was like, wow, I really do use this in every day of my life. So when I first started in the maintenance field, the construction field, the engineering field, I started off helping this guy in the neighborhood who was like a master of everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I would help this guy work on boilers, welding, electrical, plumbing, HVAC. And at the end, I would clean the tools and I would put the tools away and he would explain to me what the tools are. And from there, I just moved up. It was the same blueprint. It works every time. Same blueprint. And I realized I was always doing it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And it was working. I wasn't just doing it, but it was working. So jumping forward, I became a temporary porter at these buildings in the Bronx. And a handyman position became available. And I was like, I think I'm gonna go for it. So, just like everything else I had done, I was figuring out what was needed, work on that, and then I went for the position. and I got it. There's that blueprint again being used. Starting from one thing, moving up, and becoming more. So the blueprint works. And I got addicted to using that blueprint. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The downside can be that because the blueprint was working so well for me, is that sometimes you don't tweak things because you can make it better. But I was comfortable with the fact that it was working. Then I learned that I can make it work better. Here's the issue that I have with people who say trust the process. I find most people who use that term don't trust the process, don't use the process, and don't know what the process is. Because for years they'll say, oh, trust the process, but I haven't seen where the process worked for them in their personal lives. And I am the type of person, I need to see it for me to believe it. That's why, even if you think about the Sprite commercial, they say image is everything. It is everything. It's what people perceive of us, and it's what we project. So if you project an image, then people are gonna use that image to figure out how to deal with you. And if you see someone's image, you're gonna use that the same way. So it definitely is a huge part of life and understanding each other on a social level. So when I hear people say it, and let's use a basketball coach. Yeah, you socialize with all the high up basketball players, but you weren't one of them. You weren't part of that. You weren't on the basketball court doing what they were doing for years. You became a coach years later, and now the young people don't know that about you because they see you mingling with the people who actually played, and you get to speak to them. I'm not saying you don't have a lot to teach them. What I'm saying is, for me, don't scream, trust the process, if you can't show me where the process has worked for you. You can't show me where the process has worked for you or have been working for you, then don't scream it to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, because it's been working for me for so long, and I know what it looks like, I know what it looks like when you're just talking. I know what it looks like because there's no movement. And there was no movement in my life until I understood it and I used it. But I think showing a person it can be done is more important than saying it. Saying it is the easy part. Saying it is more making you look good because he's such a positive person. Well, to me, a positive person doesn't just say it, they do it. They show it can be done. That is the best inspiration. I said it in my video before with the dips, 110 dips. That's the best, biggest, and most influential experience that can be given is to show it through action. So trust the process is definitely one of those terms that I only appreciate if you could show me that you've used it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And that's why my passion is so strong for it, because it's helped me in areas of my life. It helped me to understand and to grow. Of course, we all still have growing to do. We'll always be under construction. But overall, this blueprint works. And the beautiful thing about the blueprint is I didn't create it. It was given to me. I tweak that blueprint, and then I give it to someone else and they tweak it. And you give it to them in a way of sharing your experience, sharing your life, sharing your ups, your downs. You know, that's how you give someone else the blueprint. Then they take it and they add a little to it. It's no different than making a cookie. Some point somebody just made a chocolate cookie, and then someone put chocolate chips in it, and then someone put macadamia nuts in it. Someone put white chocolate in it. It's the same thing, but it all started from one ingredient, and then someone else adds on their own, and you create more. And that's how we grow in society and as people, is that we share and we create. We share and we create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I just doubled up because we're in Harlem, and we double up in Harlem. So I just did 16 and 15. Every so often I double up just to kind of throw the body off. If I increase the reps every so often, it teaches the body to add the energy and focus when I need it to, because sometimes it starts to see that, oh, we're descending in numbers, it's getting easier. I don't have to put as much work in. Then I flip it and add another set to it. And it's like, oh man, just when I thought it was over, because I control this. This controls this. And I tell it when to work and when to stop working, when to rest and when not to rest. All right, 16, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this, again, is my passion and where my passion comes from. Why I'm so standoffish with people who just talk. You can't grow with people who just talk. You know, it's funny because when it comes to money, we understand that. If someone asks you for $100,000 to invest in your company, you want to know more about the company. When did it start? What it's selling, or what's its service? What's the market like of that section of service? Where are you setting up, brick and mortar, online? You want to know these things because you want to protect your investment. Well, I want to protect my biggest investment, and that's my time. So by protecting my time, I have to stay away from people who just want to talk, because then we end up wasting time. The money you can get back. If you borrow $100 from me, I can borrow $100, I can make $100 somewhere. But my time I can't get back. So we're very good at protecting our money. We need to protect our time. And by protecting your time in this way, is you stay away from people who are not ready to work as hard as you. Again, this is my passion. I don't work out for other people. People say, oh, I work out for my kids. I work out for my wife. I work out for my girlfriend. No, I work out for me, and they reap the benefits of it. I don't work for kids. I don't work for wife. I don't work for girlfriend. I work for me, and they reap the benefits of it. If I continue to do it, they continue to reap the benefits. So I don't do it specifically for them, because if I don't do it for me, let's say I do it for my child. My child grows up, moves on, has a family, moves to California. Do I stop now because I no longer have them as my responsibility? No, I still have me as my responsibility. So it's very important that you protect your time and do it for you. And the people who you love and are around you, they'll reap the benefits of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I just doubled up again because I was talking a little longer. When you talk a little longer than you should, add a little more to it. So, protect your time, filter the people away from you who want to complain. And if people are complaining, then of course if you love and care about them, try and understand what the complaint is, because we don't know where it could be coming from. After that, work on the fix. Less on the complaint, more on how we can fix it. And then work to move forward. If they can't, then you have to leave them be to work on that. Doesn't mean you close the door on them, but I have to keep climbing this mountain. I'll drop the rope, you see it, you come up, but I can't stop climbing. All right, was I talking too much again? Maybe I need to double up, right? 14, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Very important. Always work on you. You'd be surprised how many people you inspire to be better while you're working on you. I'm sure this has happened to many of us as far as being fit and working out. You go to a beach, you go to a pool, they see you take off your clothes, your peers, your friends, and even strangers, oh, you look good, you look great, especially for your age. And then they love to say, I gotta get in the gym with you, or gotta get in the park with you. They only say that, most of them only say it, I'll say most of them. Most of them only say it because if they're in that moment, they see it and they want it, and they wanna work for it. It's like seeing someone pull up in a car, and you say, oh man, I gotta get one of those, I have to work for that. But once that time has passed, so has their want to do it and get it, because they don't see it anymore. So stay focused on you, put that goal in front of you, and always work toward it, always. You should be doing a little bit of a day to work toward that goal. And don't rest on your laurels. My mother used to tell me that all the time. Do not rest on your laurels. If you make it to this height and you start getting accolades for that, don't stop there. Don't rest on your laurels. Continue. Continue. There's no reason to stop. I'll give you a good story that my mother gave me one time. Well, she didn't give me this story. My mother, I came home one day. No, actually, I wasn't even living home. I had called my mother and I told her that I had made over $100-something thousand that year. And she said, that's not impressive. She looked at my pay stub and I wasn't understanding what she was looking at that made her say that. She said, that's not impressive. And I'm all hype off of it. I'm like, damn, I made over, I want to say it was like 170 or 180 something thousand that year. And she couldn't, all right, brother. I couldn't understand why she was knocking it. And she said, look how many hours you had to give this company in order to reach that number. You work 16 hours here, you work 18 hours here, you work 16 hours here. So you're essentially working more than 40 hours a week. She said, son, you only have 24 hours in a day. So if you're giving them 16, that's counting and including sleep, no, not sleep, that includes eating and traveling. She said, now you have 8 for yourself as far as sleep and whatever other little things you want to squeeze in there. She said, you want to impress me, Make that in 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks. That's what you do. Because then you get to use the second 8 for you and your personal goals, and then you get to use the third 8 for sleep. So build yourself to the point where you can give a company 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, 52 weeks, and get that number. And it changed my thinking. And it's the truth. Again, that goes back to time. Make your time more important. So now they're paying me more an hour, which is time, and I'm able to get more for my time, only because I've made myself more valuable. I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna double up again. 12, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Had to triple up that time. So that's how you make your time more valuable, is you increase your value. Now you get to charge more for your hour, and essentially now you're making more, doing less, and now you get more time for your own personal goals. This is why it's so important to not get caught up in the words of positivity and more caught up in the action. Seeing it will inspire you, it can be done. Hearing it, what you do is you drop yourself into one of those echo chambers of speaking it to somebody, they speak it back to you, but no one's holding the other accountable to actually put the work in. And there's really no reason to, because you're both echoing the same thing back and forth, and mentally you're getting the positive vibe from, we're positive to each other. The real positive is, I want to see you succeed. Stop telling me you're going to do it. Show me. Next time I see you, I need to see an advance in that area. You know, I don't care how small it is. I need to see something. Hold him accountable. Hold her accountable. And when you do that, they're going to hold you accountable, because it becomes a war now. It becomes a friendly war where it's like, yeah, well, I ain't see you change. You still doing the same amount of push-ups. You still reading the same book. You're still taking the same class. You haven't gotten that certification yet, or that license yet, or that diploma or degree. So hold each other accountable. You know, with basketball, we used to have to shoot, let's say 10 threes, 10 three-pointers. And let's say I got 6, he got 7. I said, I'm gonna work on it. I end up hitting 5. Oh, I thought you were gonna work on it. See, we challenge each other. We just figure out where we do it so it doesn't hurt as much. But if I'm your friend, I don't care if it hurts. I don't care if it hurts. I want to see a change in you. If I see the change, that's going to make me feel good. If I don't see the change, that hurts. That hurts more than the words that you say hurt you. Not seeing you grow. So it's important. It's very important. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of mixed up on one when I went to 13. It was supposed to be 12. I know I started at 2, but I'm gonna do an extra 1, 2. Started at 2, so I counted the 13 as the 1. So this is important, people. Protect your time, protect your energy, filter who's around you, help them filter who's around them. And if you grow, help them grow. If they don't want to grow, you keep growing. You leave the phone line open, you leave the door open, and you drop the rope when you get to that point. And when they want to climb, they want to call, walk through the door, they can. This would be 9, 8, 7. So Let's do 987, 987. Woo. Let's go. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nine, 8, 7. And this is why I have such a high passion for what I do in every area of my life. And sometimes it can come off as if, I don't know, I guess some people could say I think a lot of myself. I don't know, I've heard different things, but that doesn't mean anything to me. Again, I'll tell you guys, it's been working for me. You know, I don't put anybody down in order for me to climb up. Anyone who knows me knows that. So I just continue to work on me. I tweak it as I go to see what works better. And it's one of those, you know, can't stop, won't stop. Just continue. And stay away from that toxic positivity. That's basically what words are with no action. It's toxic. 9, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's toxic because it doesn't get you anywhere. And you can't see that it can get you somewhere. I'll give you another story. After becoming a handyman at this job, or a maintenance man, or a maintenance mechanic, whatever term you want to use, there was a superintendent's position available on the other side of town. I saw it in the one ads. Yeah, at one time in life, in the newspaper, there was a one ad section where you would look for work. So anyway, I saw the job, I looked at the requirements, and just dropped my resume. Get to the interview, shake the man's hand, all was going well. What did you do? How'd you do it? How long you've been doing it? Told him my whole experience, my background. He was impressed. He asked me the certifications that I held. I was telling him I think it was a low pressure boiler at the time, a sprinkler, fire safety director, sewage. There's a multiple license / certifications that I held. And he asked me, so where'd you grow up? Told him I was born and raised in Harlem, spent some years in the Bronx, went to Taft High School. I'm breaking everything down. He's like, oh, you went to Taft? I used to live over by Taft. That's on for Sheridan. I said, yeah. I lived on 170th in the Grand Concourse. And he said, oh man, I'm from that area. We start talking and everything's going well. Until he asked, do you have your high pressure boiler? And I said, no. My high pressure boiler certification was the one thing I didn't have, and I didn't have it because the job I was at didn't require it. So he puts his head down and he goes, I'm sorry, man, you would make such a great, candidate for the job, or you would be a great fit, but you need that license. And I was so bothered by that. I was so, I won't say hurt, I was disappointed. So as I was always told to do, I stand up, I shake his hand, and I say, thank you for the time, thank you for the interview, the consideration, please keep my resume on file. And he did. I get to my friend's house afterwards, I made a quick stop, and my friend says, don't worry, stay positive, it'll all work out. Gotta make it work. And he said, just stay positive, keep working at it. But there was nothing after that. It was just stay positive, keep working at it. I had to figure it out. So I kind of left it alone for a few days. I ended up calling my mother. She asked me what's new, what's going on. I explained it to her. And she said, call him back right now and tell him to shred your resume. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. She said, call him back, tell him shred your resume. She asked, what was it that he asked you to get or that you need in order to secure that job? I said, he was speaking about a high pressure boiler certification. Well, where'd you get your low pressure boiler certification? I said, at the main firehouse in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn. She said, well, go take the test and look up any other certifications and license that you can get there. Take the test. Now at this place, it's downtown Brooklyn, and it's the main firehouse where you can get your license and certifications for anything safety related to buildings, residential and commercial. So they have other things, but this is what I was going for. So you take the test. If you fail, you can take it again. They give you pamphlets to read up on it. You take the test. Even if you don't hold the job that requires that license or certification, they hold your results and license on file when you get the job. The job gives you a letter. Take it to the firehouse. They print up your certification so that you can use for this specific job. So I look up other things and I end up taking a test for, other certifications and license. After taking the test, updated my resume, sent it back in. And that is what's missing when you just hear positive talk. You miss that next step, that action step that you need to take. And that's important because I'd be just sitting home being positive, thinking it'll all work out. But that's not how the world works. That's not how life works. I could sit home all day and hope and wish. When I was experiencing my lower back pain, I was wishing like hell for it to go away. It didn't happen. There are people who are going through all kinds of illness. They wish, they hope, they stay positive. It doesn't just go away like that. It takes action, So that's why it's very important for you to put action behind the positive words. And I got my certification. I sent the resume back in. Now, he didn't call me for another job, but I'd taken my resume and put it other places. And I gotten a call for a job in Long Island working at a private property. It was a closed off community. It was one of the greatest experiences I've had in my career. And I learned a lot because I had come from the Bronx tenement buildings where it was 972 apartments, 4 buildings divided into 200 something apartments per building, to go into a gated community with 2 outdoor pools, indoor basketball court. I learned a difference, had such a great experience in, I say subsidized / middle income to a higher income bracket. And they taught me a lot there and I learned a lot. They were certified to give you certifications, and it was through New York State, and I learned a lot and I gained a lot. And I was able to take that to the next stage in life. So actions, people. Actions is way more important than words. Let's end it with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. I started this routine at 8:16. It's 8:56, so that's what, 40 minutes? It usually takes between 20 to 25 minutes to do this routine when I'm doing it on time. It's 253 dips here, 253 dips there, comes up to 506, and this is the routine that I was doing daily in order to get to my 110. Off to camera, I ended up doing 120. And I did 120 because I grew up on 120th Street in Harlem. So I wanted to hit that number. So the 110 because Harlem starts at 110. And the 120 is because I grew up on 120th Street. So I'm gonna end this video here. And I just wanna end it by saying, strengthen every aspect of your life. That's how you seal everything in your life. And then you make a deal with yourself and say, self, don't ever accept less. And that's what the sealing deal is about.